Before we met Jesus, we were sloshing around in the mud, and that's what C.S. Lewis talks about, that we want to return to this mud pit every day. It's a default, instead of enjoying a holiday or a vacation in this amazing place. And I would go further than that, just because God says we are elevated to an even higher position, which I'll talk about, where we are able to, and we are already, by faith, sitting at the royal table of God, adopted into his family as sons and daughters, which is a radical thought. I needed to hear that again today because I want to go back to the mud, and I do not want you to go back to the mud either. So this is the daily time alone with God challenge, and this is where we remember what is truth. And we remember that we don't belong, like I read today in Psalm 113, in the ash heap or in the mud pit. That's where we were. We need to acknowledge that's where we were, and that's where we'd be without God. But now we need to step into believe and live out of this truth of royal sons and daughters of the Most High King and Creator of the universe, which is really hard to believe. So that's why we're going to get the three-part relational connecting time with God. So the first minute, share your heart with God, admit that we do go back to the mud pit, confess any sins, but then receive what God has to say to you. We'll do that in the second minute. But first, share your heart with God, be honest, ask him for help. So take that first minute, do that now. Okay, so second minute, this is where we pause the video and we receive what God says about us. And if you want, you can turn to Psalm 113, the last few verses now, which is where this takes place, where we were in the ash heap. God took us from being poor to being princes, and then he said the barren woman, he actually replaces with a fruitful life with lots of children. That's a picture of us doing work that lasts forever, serving God forever. However you want to do it, but pause the video for this second minute and at least rest, meditate, receive what God says to you about being royalty and that he has eternal work for you. Pause the video, do that now. Okay, so final minute. This is where you need to make sure that you take this word with you. So go ahead, read or listen. It could be Psalm 113, could be somewhere else, but do that right now in the Bible to continue to just revive and renew and throw off the sin that entangles and this desire to go back to the mud pit. So for my time, this was a reminder to me, I'll be honest. I return to that occasionally, and I need to focus on getting back into the royal mindset and realize God has things he wants us to do today that has a lasting effect for all of eternity. See you tomorrow.